Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I'd like to show you how the plants are doing from my January and February seed sowing. Have they survived? Come and join me. Today I'm going to pot up the brassica seedlings that I sowed a few weeks ago now, and they're looking really good and really healthy. So I shall do all of these, and I've got myself a tray here that I've put some multi-purpose compost in, and I'm just dibbing some holes and then popping them in. So really taking them by the leaf, shaking the excess soil, and then, wow, this is difficult, trying to pop the seedling through my phone. Okie dokie. So in you go. Just gently push it down. You don't want to damage the roots too much. And I'll firm that in a bit more and straighten it up. I haven't got my phone on the stand. I should have probably done that, but there you go. So I'm going to pop this lot up, which will be an afternoon's, well, half an hour's work probably, if that, but it's fun. I quite like potting up the seedlings. It's quite therapeutic, and I have my iPad over there, so I shall have that as company as I'm potting these up. If you're really lucky, you can take them out of the cells in one big block, and then that will make separating them and potting them up a lot easier. You can just peel them off one by one gently, and it has less root disturbance, and then just pop them in. So these are the red cabbages here, round, and these are some white cabbages that I'm going to pop in now. So probably this tray will all be cabbages, and then I'll put the broccolis in after that. So let me just put this over here for you. So to take one off is really easy. Find the outside one and just separate it off really gently. That's what happens when you're only doing it with one hand. I should get my stand and put it on my stand. I wasn't planning on doing any filming right now, so I was being lazy and I hadn't got my tripod thing out to hold the camera. But I've set it up now. So here are the two little brassicas that I was showing you. And just gently pull them apart. Always hold them by the leaf seed. And then let's just move those. Pop them in the hole. My trusty chopstick. Just pop them in the hole. Gently put them down there and cover them up. And that's all you do to prick them out. And you keep going along the row until they're all done. Sometimes you just have to make the hole a little bit bigger to accommodate the very good healthy roots that are on the plants. So just pop them in. They will have a little bit of transplant shock, so they may sit and sulk for a little while, but don't worry, they'll get going again and they'll be romping off. So there they are, and there they are. Very easy. And just to show you one more time on the blocks, try and find the one that's on the outside of the group. Take it by the leaf seed and then just gently, I've got two there tangled up again. They will. And that's another reason for potting them up when they are young and small, because the roots do start to get really quite tangled up, and it makes separating them a lot harder, and you do more damage when the roots are more entwined. So put them up nice and early, and they'll get going in no time. So I'll be looking forward to having some nice coleslaw with the red and white cabbages. I've pricked out 3 varieties of cabbages, but I just wanted to show you before I carry on doing some more that the Cabbages didn't have a very good germination. Now that could be it was an old packet of seeds, but I shall go back and check, because that sometimes happens. I think I was using up some open packets. And the other one that hasn't germinated very well is all year round cauliflowers. And again, I shall go back and just check the packet. And again, that's likely to be either an old packet of seed or a packet that's been open for a while. So I shall sow a few of those again, just to make sure that we keep on track and having a good crop through the year. We're almost in March now, so I'm going to start to sow a few beetroot, some radishes, and I can't remember what. Some turnips, and I'm also going to sow another pot of leeks. And the varieties I'm going to grow, because we like beetroot, I'm going to try this one called Pablo. Sorry, I can't really turn it up. There you go. That's it, Pablo. Normally, I grow Bolt Hardy, and this is a really good beetroot for sowing early in the year. It doesn't bolt, but on this packet, it says sow outdoors in April, and on this packet, it says sow March. So it just goes to show that the things written on the seeds are just a guide, and you have to use a little bit of trial and error, a bit of experience to know when to sow things. And so I'm going to sow these now, and they will stay in the house until they germinate, and then as soon as they've germinated, they'll go into a cold greenhouse, and they'll take a little while to to grow on big enough to plant out. So by that time, it will probably be at least mid-March. I'm growing some other varieties as well as the red ones. I'm growing, I can't even pronounce that, but I call it Choglia, and which is this beautiful striped one, and Baldor, which is a lovely sweet yellow variety. So I'm going to pop those in. Again, I'm going to pop them in trays, into cells like this, and I'm going to sow 3 seeds per cell in here. Now, when you're sowing beetroot, it's really important that you label them, because they all look the same as seeds, like lots of things like brassicas. Now, the thing about beetroot is that they look like a small piece of cork, and there's more than one seed in here, but they won't all necessarily germinate. So putting them in clusters of 3 means that you'll probably get a number of beetroot coming up, and as they grow, they push each other apart, and you actually harvest the larger one and leave the smaller ones in the ground to grow on, and that way you get a kind of succession sowing as well. So I'm going to just pop 3 seeds in here in each of the cells, and then cover them with a little bit of compost and leave them indoors until they just start to germinate, and put them down in the cold greenhouse. And that's all you need to do. And of course, don't forget to label them. It's a beautiful day today, and it's nice and warm in the greenhouse, so I'm down here. You've seen me post a number of videos just recently of in January and February about seeds that I'm sowing. So I thought you might like to see how they're getting on. So I brought you down to the greenhouse and I'll just show you. So here are some of the onions, a bit of a erratic germination, but that doesn't really matter because I've put quite a few in, so it will make up for it. Some flower seeds, I think they're calendulas, and then here is a row or a tray of the lettuces. Sorry, the lettuces I put in, they're doing really well, looking really healthy. Some more, I think they're cornflower seeds. A tray of brassicas. There's the fennel I put in only a couple of weeks ago. And then some of these are the radishes and turnips I put in just a couple of weeks ago. And then some more flowers down the end there. And on the bottom shelf, more lettuces and leeks and onions are all doing really well. Some more flower seeds, some sweet peas at the back, and here are the brassicas that you saw me potting up and pricking out. And here's another tray. So they're all different sorts of broccoli, cauliflower, cabbages there. Another tray of lettuces. These are struggling a little bit because the seeds didn't germinate wonderfully, but you know, it's all looking good. And in there are some more kohlrabi. They took a long time to germinate, so I left them in there, but they're getting along quite nicely there, and I'll prick them out fairly shortly. I'm just taking you around on the other side, and there are some Chinese vegetables that are going to be planted soon, and there's a couple of brassicas, and I've been wanting to put these outside to start hardening and getting used to the elements like the wind, but it's been so windy I haven't put them out yet. But because the weather has really changed, I may well do that. So more onions, and these are some broad beans. I hope the sun doesn't catch you. Some broad beans. They're not really for a crop, they're really for a filler, as I've already got broad beans on the allotment. Some sweet peas, and they're the leeks that you saw me pop in. They're doing well, and I've just put in another pot of leeks as well. No, what are these? These are calendula, I think, and cornflower. And some lamb's lettuces all perking up. And then down here are the celeriac, again, that you saw me sowing, and they're coming along really well, but you can see they are so small. I will let them grow another leaf or two before I prick them out, so that it just makes them easier to handle. A few violas, a couple of pots of violas for edible flowers. Some peas, mange tout and podding peas, and these will be going in very shortly. What are these? These are probably onions of some description. Oh no, they're the shallots. Spinach, again, these will be going in fairly shortly as well. A few flower seeds that are just germinating. I popped in a tray of lettuces, not for individuals, but just for cut and come again. More onions, spring onions or shallots. They all look about the same at the moment. So they're coming along really well. These are the other brassicas that need to be just cleared up, and they're desperate really to go out, and I think these are some broccoli. So you've seen me sow all of the seeds, and now you've seen the little plants popping up, and we're just in March, the beginning of March, and I will be sowing loads more. I'll take you inside as well to show you the chilies and peppers and aubergines. But yep, we're almost getting ready for some planting time. Here are some of the peppers and chilies that I've been potting up from the other day. And here as well. These are quite small, but these are quite a bit bigger. And they're doing well. A little bit more spindly than I'd like them, but they're doing fine. And on the top, whoops, there they go. There's some more here. And along the bottom, I'll show you quickly, are my potatoes. Oops, sorry, shaky hand there. Are the potatoes chitting nicely? And they will go out mid-March. Yep. And there's my little store of shallots that will go out. The second pot of leeks that haven't germinated yet, and a few more chilies and peppers and aubergines that still need to be potted up. So lots of busyness, and this is the results from my January and February sowing, and I hope yours are doing well too. And I've got 2 trays of beetroot, one here and one here, sorry, and you can probably just see, I'm going too far, they're just beginning to germinate, so it won't be long. I'll show you the other tray, sorry about the movement. And there they are, just beginning to germinate here too. So it won't be long until these go down to that cool greenhouse to grow on. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the vlog today and seeing how the seeds have been coming along from my January and February sowing. As I've said to you before, there's no rush. There's still time to sow seeds. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy growing. Bye.